Welcome in, everybody. We are live from the Circuit of the Americas. Overhead shot here of this beautiful layout, this track in Austin, Texas, for the Endurance Racing Championship Series, one of our shorter races on the year, only 2 hours here. So see what happens with this multi-class field. A mix of GTP cars, GTP Nissans, and the super late models posing as Trans Am Touring Series. These guys will go at it for 2 hours around this incredible track. See who can come away with the second win of the season. Chip Robinson winning at Daytona the 6 hours. Is right now just moving along through the carousel part of the circuit. Last week's winner, Chip Robinson here. See Tommy Kendall and Johnny O'Connell very much in the title conversation for the touring series. In the background you also got Felipe Nasser. 16 prototypes, 20 Trans Am Touring Series cars, 36 in all. Finishing up our practice session before heading to 4 laps of qualifying. See a little damage on Dan Gurney's front end. It's the first time we've seen any incident that I'm aware of so far today. But been very clean through much of practice and testing, so excited to see how it plays out in the actual race. We never had a start here, so that will be new for everyone. And if you don't get a lap in as one of those prototypes, you will start behind the Trans Am Touring Series cars. Something to keep in mind once we go green. Or once we begin qualifying, I should say. We got about 10 seconds left. We can go ahead and advance the session here. And currently, Chip Robinson's teammate, Jeff Brabham, is quickest in practice. So we'll stick with him for at least the first lap of qualifying. If anybody goes quicker, we'll switch over to them. Any of these practice times translate over to qualifying. It's always very important and key, especially at a track like this. Passing not very easy. And a lot of these prototypes run very similar pace. Outlap for Jeff Brabham. Navigating those S's, just getting the tires up to temperature. Got 69 degrees outside and 94 degree track temp coming down as the clouds move in overhead. Predicted to be mostly cloudy. Nice day out there though for the fans that shown up. And thank you everyone for tuning in here today. It should be a great race. We're now following along with Jeff Brabham on his outlap to get qualifying underway. couple newcomers as well in the prototype series this week. Two new Porsches entered into the field. That would be Pedro Rodriguez and Steve McQueen. Keep an eye on them in their first race. Also, Scott Sharp and Ron Fellows have qualified to be in the top 20 for this race. The Trans Am Touring Series running its own season-long series at the same time. And if you're in the top 20 in points, you do qualify to race in this Endurance Racing Championship Series. Two drivers that were in the first round but not here this week would be John Gooding and Brad Frizzell, replaced by Scott Sharp and Ron Fellows. A great last two races to move them comfortably inside the top 20. See how Brabham does on his first lap. We know these teammates are quick at the front, 86 and 89, Jeff Brabham and Chip Robinson. A little bit out of the track. I'm not sure if that will count against his lap. We'll just wait and see. That could have been a 0x for Brabham on his first lap. Cross the line. He does get in. However, not the quickest. Right now we're seeing Rob Dyson at the top. Anybody go quicker than him? Not currently. Steve McQueen up to second. Dyson looking quick through the S's. In the Trans Am series, though, I don't know that anyone got a lap in. Now this is also the point where you see some cars, oh actually they're just getting across the line still, big difference in speed, but this lap should be quicker for most drivers. And then do they decide to run a third lap or just park after that? Willie T. Ribbs currently quickest in the Trans Am Touring Series. Parnelli Jones, last week's winner. Currently on the bubble as well. Was on the edge of making it for this race. And I think he made it in by 1 point to be able to defend his week 1 win. Final couple corners for Dyson. Does he go quicker? You can hear a few cars have decided to come down pit lane, but Holbert goes quick. Pruitt even faster into the 155, so a 154.963. That will put him on provisional pole. Dangerous spot for that Ganassi entry to be. He can run away with this race. Holbert and Dyson second, third. Then you got Chip Robinson, Davy Jones. That's your top 5. No mention of the Toyotas though until you get to 10th place Juan Fangio. PJ Jones currently 14th. So we did have some takers on lap 2. they'll get an extra go at it with fresh tires. Paul Gentilozzi, I believe he has moved up to second. In the Touring Series. Not sure if he was already there. That corner's giving some of these prototypes a bit of trouble. Going wide. Pruitt to pit lane. Everybody down pit lane. Alright. All the Touring Series cars here. Let's see. Couple guys still looking to get a lap, and we got Robbie Gordon. Ernie Francis Jr. currently second. Boris Said looking to get his lap complete. Wow, only 10 cars out of the 20 so far. See if we can find the rest of our GTP. Here's Jeff Brabham going out one more lap. This will be lap 4. Now, some of these guys are not. I think Jeff Brabham might be the only one that came down. Yep. So let's see if he can go quicker. One lap to do it. Scott Pruitt at a 154.963. Brabham currently 12th. 5/10 off. No other prototypes will get a lap in. And then from there, it's if any of the Touring Series drivers came in early, if they can make another lap. Currently, Pedro Rodriguez 16th in his first run. Although, for all these drivers, aside from Rodriguez, McQueen, Scott Sharp, and Ron Phillips, it's only their second start, so experience is null and void at this point. See if Brabham can handle this corner. Much better. Looks like he has a lot of speed through these final 2. Well, the way these prototypes sound under braking. Across the line. 155.1. He goes up to 3rd. So Pruitt on pole. Here's Brian Simo looking to improve. Tommy Riggins in 9th. Yeah, Parnelli Jones. He's going to get one more lap in. He's currently 4th. Ribbs also decided to come back down to get one more lap. Seems like the sun is out a bit on track, but temperature still coming down, 90 degrees. Qualifying just about finished here, and a few more cars to cross the line, and we can head to the race. It's again 2 hours here at COTA. One of our shorter races on the season. Split it up by 2, 4, and 6 hour races. Coming around the carousel, Parnelli Jones trying to put together a lap to maybe put him on the front row, but he seems to be a little bit more reserved on this lap. Coming around, final corner. Got to beat a 4.59. He goes to a 6.13, so stays where he was. Forbes Robinson, though, moves up. So does Lynn St. James. Great to see. Excuse me as I jump through the field here. Okay, everybody's across the line now. So only 10 cars got a lap. Wow. There's Baldwin, Kendall, Schrader. Imagine they might go by practice time. Haven't seen this many cars not make it, so be interesting to see how that's decided. But Forbes Robinson, Willie T. Ribbs, Lynn St. James, Paul Gentilozzi, Ernie Francis Jr., Parnelli Jones, Dan Gurney, Brian Simo, Tommy Riggins, and Wally Dallenbach Jr. That's your top 10 in the Touring Series. Take a look at the 1 through 16 on the screen for the prototypes. Pruitt again taking pole. See Juan Fangio and PJ Jones pretty far back. Gonna be interesting watching them if they can make their way through the field. And we will go ahead and move forward to the race session. Cars just loading into the session. Getting lined up on the backstretch, so a shorter than normal pace lap. Go ahead though and take a quick look at the field for you from our blimp camera, courtesy of TWRS, T. Watson Racing Setups. Be sure to check that out if you're looking for any setups in iRacing. A whole variety of cars to choose from. And Dizzy V Designs for your paint scheme needs. Front row, Scott Pruitt, Al Holbert. Great start for the 14. I think it's kind of expected for Scott Pruitt to be up where he is, but can Holbert hold on and not let Pruitt run away? Then you got Jeff Brabham and Rob Dyson, teammate behind Brabham and Chip Robinson. And that is the number 3 of Davy Jones. Yeah. Steve McQueen, Derek Bell. Still getting used to a lot of these cars, so we'll learn together. But we got Philippe Albuquerque and Jordan Taylor there. Teammates Butch Leitzinger and Hurley Haywood. There's Elliott Forbes Robinson and Willie T. Ribbs on the front row of the Touring Series. Then St. James and Gentilozzi. Current points leader, Parnelli Jones on the outside of row 3. And here's how we will seemingly decide the rest. It'll be the gap where I am supposed to be. I have to give myself an EOL. I think so. And look at this. Steve Millen on the last row. Wow. Okay. Let's give me an EOL. Oh no. Not Pruitt. See, I'm going to restart this. restart. Gotta give myself. There we go. There we go. Great shot of the cars now on the backstretch, lined up, ready to go. Scott Pruitt, Al Horbert on the front row. Go ahead and
green
grid
next
up.
time by. Line up on the left side. Pit road's closed.
Pace car will be in this lap. Only a half lap around before going green. One more shot of the cars here as they roll by. Great diverse looking field, all the different paint jobs. Really stacking them up here into the stadium section. See 36 cars though, ready to rumble here. A lot can happen here in 2 hours. It's gonna be crazy. I'm not sure how quick we'll catch lap traffic. I'm guessing maybe like 10 laps, maybe less. They are pretty quick. May have some cautions come into play as well throughout the race, so keep an eye out for that. Never know what can happen in the Pandora's Arcade World of Racing. It's the Endurance Racing Championship Series. Once we have play, anything can happen. See that fire just shooting out the back of these prototypes is impressive. The combustion, and we're coming around one more corner. Pace car pulling off. About to go green here at the Circuit of the Americas. Final corner, here comes Pruitt. And we're away. Green flag in the air.
Green flag, green flag.
Good jump for Pruitt. Everyone diving in to make it through turn one. So far, so good. Prototypes all looking good through the esses. Here come the touring series. Nose just lifting up on exit under power. It's impressive. Contact there. I thought I heard someone hit. Here come the touring series cars now down the hill. Grab him, looking for a way by on Holbert, but gonna take his time, be a little patient. up to the lead of the race. Rob Dyson looking on Jeff Brabham. He's got Chip Robinson behind him. Holbert starting to get away from Brabham a bit. Bringing Dyson up a little closer. Might have a bit of draft down this long back straightaway. No push to pass or any in-car controls on these vehicles. It is done the hard way. Meanwhile, your leader, Scott Pruitt, pulling out 1 second lead over Al Holbert. In the front of you. Oh, look at that. Got a bit of damage on O'Connell. Tommy Kendall looking for a way by. This 4-7. Ernie gonna hold on. Kendall again going for the inside. He's there this time. He's going to move forward. And he does in front of Dan Gurney 4-7. Almost contact Ernie Jones or Ernie Francis and St. James. Genovese up to third. Stewart T. Ribs and Forrest Robinson first. Back to the prototypes now. Everything staying pretty much the same up front. Quickest lap of the race now belongs to Holbert. Last time by, put in a 156.423. Let's see what we got this time by. Pruitt took the fastest lap, but Holbert responded right away and by 500ths. Goes quicker again. Got a toe behind Pruitt, might be helping him out a little bit. Let's go on board here with Ron Dyson. Get you an idea what it's like on board one of these machines. Whoa. All right. There we go. Losing a bit of time now to Brabham once who jumped on board. So. Announcer Jinx sliding into that hairpin. Get you an idea through the state of section and what it looks like from the driver's perspective. See the flag sticking straight out here in Texas. It is windy today, about 15 to 20 mile an hour winds throughout. Would not want to be at the top of that tower. I'm scared. All that wind. Cars sound so peaceful. It's much more chaotic out here. Let's go back here. Wally Dawn back, losing a bit of ground. Forrest said, someone on board. Fellows and O'Connell going on. O'Connell's got quite a bit of damage on both sides of his car. Apparently Jones up at the corner there and a whip, which allowed Millen to the outside. Millen started last. Tommy Kendall now up to 6th. He's gotten by Brian Simo. And now the battle for the lead. Leading up a bit, at least for second place, is Genovese looking for a way by to maybe close up on Forbes Robinson. Acceleration from Genovese. Oh, nose was in the air going into the carousel. Really looking for a way by now. See what kind of lap times we put in. It seems even Ribs is closing in on Forbes Robinson, despite the pressure from behind. Oh, look at this. We're closing up on lap traffic already. This is lap 5 in the books. We're coming up on lap 6, and we are going to see lap cars for this lap. How do they handle it? Dawn back. I don't know how he didn't know the leader was going, but cut down when leaving the door open. So we make it exciting with the very first car. Why not? Now back here is everybody stacking up for second. Looks like Browdy's gonna make a move. He's gonna get there around Holbert. And Holbert's stuck. They're going 3 wide down the backstretch. There's Bravo under braking. Wow. Pretty remarkable right now. Holy cow. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm not doing a great job in commentator right now. This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. Cars are moving through the field at such a rapid pace. We almost went through the entire Touring Series field in 1 lap. You know, the rest of the field still coming through. All battling for position. Unbelievable. Pruitt is maintaining the lead. Brabham looking inside, though, as Genovese goes the inside on Ribs. They're side by side. Ribs keeps his spot as Genovese backs out. Oh my god. And Now Brabham's stuck behind Forrest Robinson. Oh yeah. Look at that. That was fun. Can't wait to do it again. Another 5-6 laps here. Unbelievable. Now your running order has changed a bit. Scott Pruitt's still your leader, but Jeff Brown is second. Rob Dyson third. Chip Robinson fourth, and McQueen up to fifth. Holbert has dropped a few spots to sixth after getting kind of freight train on the outside, stuck behind a slower car. Very defensive maneuvering down the back. Brabham now maybe make that some time on Pruitt without Holbert, but if anything, it looks like he's slowing this field down a bit. Kind of heat the tires up a bit going through all that traffic. Time by 3 seconds. 3-second difference between first and second. Now, a lot of it has to do with that defensive line. Oh, there's a move. Holbert gets sideways inside McQueen, and he's going to lose a spot now to Hurley Haywood. Here's Leitzinger, Albuquerque, Pedro Rodriguez, Jordan Taylor, PJ Jones. Go back again. Here's fourth, fifth. Kendall is looking for a way by Lynn St. James for fourth. There's Jack Baldwin. Some damage there to Herb Hare. Johnny O'Connell, he's got his boy Sag. Yeah, Wally Dog back. Way off pace. Now 8 seconds back. He must have gone off track at some point. Dyson continues pursuit of Jeff Brown. Everybody's still in the race as we are 15 minutes through this 2-hour event. I don't believe we've had really anything notable. Wally Dallenbach is off pace by 8 seconds, so maybe he overshot a corner, but no incidents to speak of. Just a bunch of door banging and intense racing once we got through some traffic. Derek Bell now behind his teammate Al Holbert, who started second. Got a bit of a rough situation there once we caught the lap traffic, but see if we can make it up the next time we get to him. He is the fastest lap on the race so far. Three-second lead for Scott Pruitt. great run in 5th. Holding off Hurley Haywood. Great showing for his first race in that beautiful Gulf paint scheme. Probably the best paint scheme of all time, in my opinion. Starting to see a little life out of these Toyotas. That's Juan Fangio in 11. Definitely wants to crack the top 10 of this race. Davey Jones has dropped back to 9th. He started 3rd, or no, 6th, sorry. About another 25 seconds away from the tail end of the Touring Series cars again. As we are on lap 10. Should see them in another lap. It's about a 20 to 30 second delta. 25 seconds. Great run down the back stretch for Brabham, starting to pull out a bit of a gap, and even was quicker that last time than Scott Pruitt. Pruitt might be taking a bit easier now. As he's got a gap, he's got lap traffic on the horizon. Series now going through the S's. There in the back room. Coming by, a lap in the books. Pruitt 156.8 and 156.6 for Bravo. Closing down a little bit more, another 10th and a half. 2/10 that time by. Still not even that far off their quickest lap times, which is just really impressive how these cars handle. So here we are with Wally Dallenbach just struggling today. He's 2 seconds off base. Scott Pruitt is going to be there by the hairpin, maybe get him down the straight. That would be ideal. Stick with Brabham for now as we start to encounter the lap traffic, see if he closes any on Scott Pruitt, or if Brabham begins to get any pressure from behind Rod Dyson and even his teammate Chip Robinson. He's right there. Steve McQueen. Seconds. We'll probably get a few of these guys down the front stretch, which is another great for Pruitt. He's really catch these guys at the right time. Not going to get them all, but he's going to get at least 2. That's enough. Whoa, those 3 wide horses looking low on Riggins. And there's Pruitt. Here we are. Traffic in the Endurance Racing Championship Series through the S's at Circuit of the Americas. This is... Whoa, look at that move by McQueen. 3 wide. Passes Robinson. What a move. Robinson's gonna look back, perhaps. Oh, Queen blocks it off. Oh, and almost 3 wide through here. Oh, that's stacking up. Christmas lights on the inside line. Baby Jones is here. Over, trying to get by. McQueen up to 4th. Here's Dyson looking for a way by on Bradham still. See how everyone makes it through. It's close through here. Very sketchy. Scott Sharp with some damage. Rob Dyson's gotten through for a second. And all the while, Scott Pruitt, he's long gone. 5.5 seconds up the track. Wow. Oh, look at that. Fangio's around. Might have got tagged by, looks like maybe Haywood? Whitesinger. Was there contact? Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh man, we gotta wait. We're still deciding this. Oh my gosh, 3 wide through there. Oh, looks like EFR lost his nose. What happened to Forbes Robinson? Goes in and, oh, contact with the 17. That's on Fangio. We gotta find Forbes Robinson though. Oh my gosh. What's going on? Coming through. Pruitt's gonna get a penalty. Contact. No, let's see. He's on the curb. I don't know there's much he could have done about this. We'll get back to the race in just a moment, but we do need to check this for purposes of penalties. Oh, just a racing incident, and that's going to rip the nose off Forbes Robinson, who was leading this race. Now, it's Genelozzi. By 5.9 seconds. Wow. What has happened here? I hear Forbes Robinson, do you pit? Staying on track. Look at this. Fangio back to 14th after his spin. His tires were cooked. Behind Pedro Rodriguez, just in front of his teammate PJ Jones. Well out of the top 10. Here's Felipe Nasser at 8th. Chip Robinson, he's dropped back a bit again as Holbert's gotten by for 5th. And top 3, Jeff Bravo, Rob Dyson, and then Scott Pruitt. Scott Pruitt going a second a lap quicker right now. Cannot believe what happened there to Forbes Robinson, what bad luck. And he's in the top 20, but just barely. It could be a heartbreaker for him. That time by second and third, even fourth place quicker than the leader. Splitting hairs at this point with a 6-second lead, but any bit counts if trying to catch up. Still got an hour and a half left in this one. Goes your prototype field through the S's. Shot over his crest. Jordan Taylor rounding out the prototype field, just so everyone is aware. Jones, last week's winner, or last race's winner, I should say. Last month's winner. He's running 18th, and not looking good at the moment. Side by side here through the S's, we got Steve Millen and Ron Fellows. Fellows looks like he's gonna sneak ahead. Schrader running 10. We got Scott Sharp. Francis Jr. falling back a bit. So has St. James. You see the damage to Forbes Robinson. Then you got the top 5. That's going to be Herb Hare. He's having a good run. Baldwin has steadily moved through the field and now looking for a way by on Willie T. Ribbs, who is 4.5 seconds back of Tommy Kendall. Gentilozzi leads by 6.5 seconds. And here comes the prototypes again. .7 the gap now, so half a second that last lap for second place Rob Dyson, cutting into the lead. We are 1/4 of the way through this race already, 15 laps. So looking at a 60-lap race. Interesting to see when our first pit stops finally come to fruition. No cautions yet, so this will be a good tell on those fuel tanks. Perfect time to catch there for Rob Dyson. Not going to affect his corner out at all, and gained 1.5 seconds that time. So Rob Dyson closing the gap on your leader. Keep an eye on it. So the Touring Series is just ahead. How does Pruitt catch them? It looks like he might get the bulk of this traffic in the stadium section. So hold on to your butts, everybody. This is about to be crazy. just far enough back. He's not going to catch all of them. Should allow the rest of the field to close up significantly. The prototype field specifically. The worst place he could have caught them. Maybe the esses, but this is not good. Keeping the high line. Gets by the two Nissan WeatherTech cars. Rob Dyson closing the gap. Inside on O'Connell. Now, 1.9 is all it is. 2.5 seconds quicker. Wow. So yeah, Pruitt struggling with traffic. Just timing to catch him. Now they're side by side. The S is in front of them. Sends it around the outside. He decides I have to go. Dyson is now under a second back. Look at this. This traffic is incredible. That's coming to play here. Look at that. Davy Jones thought ahead. He knew he was going to get blocked off on exit, so went low, knowing that was going to happen. Over looking for a way by McQueen, but McQueen takes a defensive line. No contact there. Grab him in the hair. He's losing time to Dyson, but Dyson all the way to the rear wing of Scott Pruitt. He's closing up on Kendall and Genelozzi. Oh my gosh. Chip Robinson gets by over. He's up into fifth. Bad exit for Baldwin. He's all the way on the inside. No bite off. Now Brabham sits 2.5 back of these two who are going at it for the lead. We're a half hour into this 2-hour event. These two back here, Holbert and who's that? Early Hayward. They're slamming doors to the essence. Everywhere you look, I am seeing action, especially when we're getting into the lap traffic. But even the laps leading up to it is great to watch. And now we have a battle for the lead. Under half a second down the backstretch. Does Dyson have enough to make a move into the left-hander? Dyson was quicker throughout some of that run, but that lap traffic really evened out that playing field. Now here's Pruitt through the final two corners. Still no pit stop, so we're kind of anticipating any lap now. I think these guys will make their stops. Dyson 6/10 quicker. They're running 158s now, best laps in the 156 range. Steve McQueen ran a 157. He's in fourth. Trying to close back to Jeff Brabham. He was 1.3 quicker that time by, and he's 1.2 back going through the S's. My maths, he'll be there next time by. But Brabham seems to kind of cured whatever ailed him that last lap, perhaps lap traffic. Anticipating those first stops. Will it be this time back? Just about a third of the way through this race now. And it's been Scott Pruitt since the green. Gentilozzi leading the GTs. After Forrest Robinson went off right at that very moment, contact with Scott Pruitt. Both of the leaders hitting doors through the carousel, and Forrest Robinson sent to the infield wall. Is still on track in the top 5, but missing the whole front end clip, and probably going to get that repaired on his pit stop and cost him a lot of time. That time by Scott Pruitt, quicker lap by 1/10 of a second over Rob Dyson. But third and fourth, quicker still. And the quickest of all is this Steve McQueen. Really looking sharp in his first run here at Circuit of the Americas. Make sure to hit the like button if you're enjoying the show here today. Subscribe to the channel, you get the notifications when we go live. Do anticipate another race tomorrow for the broadcast, so keep an eye on that. It will be the IndyCars double points race at the Daytona Road Course. 500 miles. Gonna be a longer race than this one in our Endurance Racing Championship Series. A bit ironic, but be the second of 3 races in the double points, the Triple Crown Challenge. IndyCar Legend Racing Series are wrapping up, coming to the tail end of the year, about 9 races left. Check it out on our playlist there. You can catch up with the season. Hopefully have a broadcast for you tomorrow, though. Side note, Gentilozzi pit. Forrest Robinson back to the lead with a half car. See teammates exiting pit lane there. Oh, contact between Fellows and Rob Dyson. Not ideal. And now Pruitt's jammed up behind Dallenbach. Dyson really stuck. 3-1. We haven't seen that yet. So a lot of the GT cars starting to pit. I imagine the prototypes will be close behind. And how much damage does Forbes Robinson decide to repair? This is 14th right now, Jack Baldwin. Over there, he's technically second, and there's Tommy Kendall, who was was second, and then Herb was third. Sorry. Genovosi's the one to keep an eye on once they get back around. Oh, sideways! I thought he was going to spin there. Wow. He was completely sideways. It's through on Baldwin. Continues on track. Now, field cycling through. We'll take a look in a moment where Genovese and Tom Kendall are. It's Herb Air. Here's Genovese. First of the cars that have hit, and then there's Tommy Kendall. Lots of lap traffic ahead for Pruitt. 1.8 on second, so it doesn't cost him too much time. He's getting through pretty well. Meanwhile, Rob Dyson really got stacked up. Three wide down the backstretch. Paul Genovese backs out while trying to get by David Burton. Interesting. Look at this battle now for second. Rob Dyson, Jeff Brown trying to get around the GT class leader. He's in a bit of traffic of his own. Yeah, but they really intertwined right now. Robinson, Forbes Robinson, that is, still has yet to pit. Here's Scott Pruitt now with a 3-second lead. And if I'm Rob Dyson or Brabham, maybe pit. There goes Brabham. Yeah, that's a good call. Maybe could have done it a lap sooner. But we got the prototypes coming down. Look at that pass. Oh, contact over the curb. That was what a pass. He adored St. James. Somehow they don't wreck. He jumped the curb. He might have got a penalty for that. Jeff Robinson, what? An aggressive move, but sometimes you gotta take what's given to you. Otherwise you lose spots. Here's Scott Pruitt. One that we're keeping an eye on. Hook leader, will he pit? Saw how loose he got about 2 laps ago through this section. It was completely pitched sideways. It's right here. Lap time's down to 2 minutes now, so 3.5 second fall off for the leaders. About 4 seconds actually, if you consider the tenths per lap. And there goes Scott Pruitt. He's made the choice. Rob Dyson's gonna follow. Let's see how everyone else decides to run it. Wow, look at that. Chip Robinson, Steve McQueen, they're staying out. Same with Al Holbert, Hurley Haywood, Felipe Nasser. Heck of a call. Excuse me. Now these are the leaders of the race. Got about 7 prototypes all in a row, maybe 8. Nine of them, actually. Wow. That's what you love to see. Scott Pruitt still leads over Rob Dyson, Jeff Brabham. PJ Jones has stopped. And look at this. McQueen trying to get to the outside. He's going to have a run on Brabham down the backstretch. Or Chip Robinson, sorry. Might even see 3 wide here. McQueen might try to go for the pass on the outside. Can he get there? Not quite. He's going to have the inside on Holbert. Clear Holbert off the exit. And now look at Hurley Haywood. He's going for a spot here into the carousel. Looks like he might get him. Big pass by Haywood. Nicely done. Wow. Everyone's staying out. Not everyone, I mean, but quite a few. We are getting reports. There is debris on the track. We are going to see a full course yellow here in just a moment. This is a massive point of the race.
Yellow flag is out.
Chip Robinson leading, caution out, 50 minutes into this race. Do they have enough fuel to get around another lap? Because they're gonna have to do a pace lap still too. So we'll have a lot of, as we call, housekeeping to do here once everyone gets lined up, and especially once these guys make their pit stops. Where will they cycle out? Are they still gonna be able to get out of the pits ahead? I'm not sure. Wait and see. Does anybody take an emergency stop? I don't know if that's possible here. Everybody stay now. Chip Robinson, he's gotten by the pace cars. This is going to be a... let's see. He's still not slowing down. I'm not sure if he got the memo, but we'll get that fixed. Chip Robinson will be out ahead of Steve McQueen. That's where we will have him placed. Few cars pit. So Scott Pruitt, Rob Dyson, Jeff Brabham, Felipe Nasr, Felipe Albuquerque, Jordan Taylor, PJ Jones. PJ Jones just put himself into a top 10 in what otherwise was a terrible race. Robbie Gordon just spun here. Or did he run out of gas? I'm not sure what just happened. Wow. It's getting pretty crazy here. Basically everybody will get waved around to where it all makes sense. It'll make sense. Great to see McQueen though gonna lead. No, he won't be a lap back because Chip Robinson, but you see him first car line behind the pace cars. Sure, confidence boost for that team early on in their program. Some adjustments to make, as I mentioned. Once this is taken care of, we have an hour, 5 minutes remaining, and here comes much of the prototype field. Rob Dyson and Jeff Brabham, they're pitting again. Looks like PJ Jones is pitting again. So let's go to the blimp. Oh no, can't see it. We're gonna have to go to the rear chase cam. There goes a Toyota. It's that PJ Jones. Haywood, look at these stops. McQueen losing time. He's going to be the last one out. What just happened? Davy Jones. Oh my God. Now you just got to wonder what is going on here. And Chip Robinson did not pit. Forbes Robinson with the new nose. Once we get everybody around the touring cars, we can wave them around. So just be a couple moments here. Bear with us as we get everyone situated. Chip Robinson went and screwed it all up, so put the blame on him. Pass the case card.
We're going one more lap.
How is this going to work out to Chip Robinson's favor? He's going to be able to make this the rest of the way on one stop. Very interesting here. So Chip Robinson now sitting 16th. We'll go green in about 1.5 lap time. Scott Pruitt, Felipe Nasser, Philippe Albuquerque, Jordan Taylor, your top four, Rod Dyson in 5th. Quite a big shakeup at the front. And hopefully go green here in one more lap as the GT cars make their way around. Everyone's still in this race, all 36 cars, 16 prototypes, 20 Trans Am Touring Series. It's great to see that iRacing did fix the wave around issue though, and I didn't have to do it myself and instead screwed it up even more. But going forward, we know that and can avoid any timing and scoring issues. So see Chip Robinson continuing to go further and further back. Everybody should be caught up in time here to go green, so be a great time to get a snack, get a drink, catch the last 30 or so laps of this race here at Circuit of the Americas. Probably be a little less than that, maybe like 25 laps at this point. So we are under an hour to go. Scott Pruitt leading the field, has led since the green flag. Maybe lost a lap or two under pit stop exchanges, but predominantly been out front. Rob Dyson put up a bit of a challenge there at the end of that last run. Wasn't quite able to capitalize. Can any of the cars behind Pruitt now have a shot? Nasser, Albuquerque, and Jordan Taylor. These three have not been up front all race long. So interesting to see what kind of pace they have. .68 degrees, 79 on track. So the clouds really cooling this place down. Make sure one more time we don't have any penalty.
One more lap.
Oh, not that one. Going green this time by. Chip Robinson at the tail end of the field, still to pit. Going to be well off sequence. And just interesting to see if he can make it to the finish perhaps now on one stop. Pace car pulling in. Crossing the restart zone. Pruitt hits the tires. Back to green flag racing.
Green flag, green flag.
Pulling away. Gets a good gap down the front stretch from the top 5. That's exactly what he wanted to do. So here come the touring cars, filtering up the hill. Scott Pruitt leading down into the hairpin. Nasser not letting him get away. He's holding pretty close, not too close though, within draft range, half a second back. Needs to be maybe like 3/10 even, like just to have a shot down into this left-hander. Hard braking. Brake rotors glowing. My Nerf ball is like Nerf orange. Lava. There you see Nasser closing up through the twisty bits. Pruitt opens it back up, go through the carousel. PJ Jones, you see, up to 6th. He's having a terrible day. Caught the caution at the right time, like Albuquerque, Jordan Taylor, Nasser, and these guys now in contention. Look at Parnelli Jones, he's even up to 10. A lot of battling back here, side by side contact between rivals O'Connell and Dorsey Schrader, slamming door panels. Wow, what a race between those two. Here's Gentilozzi back up front. Tommy Kendall second. He's just put in the quickest lap of his race. Or 2:18.216. Gentilozzi though, still well and above. Starting to form up front. Seems Nasser's losing touch with Pruitt, not able to be as close and even as Nissan's were earlier and Rob Dyson. But unfortunately, they're so far back in traffic now. Chip Robinson. See if we can find where Chip Robinson is. Did he run out of fuel? Yeah, looks like it. Oh, he made it. But still on pit lane. And not entirely sure what for at this point. Very unfortunate for Chip Robinson that his race just completely imploded. Last month's winner at Daytona. I don't know if we can get an answer as to what transpired. He might just be out of gas and they can't get it refired now. Issues with these older cars. Train of prototypes all taking the same line. Like losing time though to the top three. Oh, fastest line of the race last time by this man, Scott Pruitt. 155.0. Track cooling down. Clean air. 7/10 quicker than Nasser. Oh man. This rate, I don't know if it's a done deal, but it's not looking like there's much competition out there. Closing up on Nasser. Probably be into some lap traffic within a lap. So by the time we're here, next time around, we're going to be in the midst of a lot of GT cars. Right through the S's. Scott Pruitt continues to lead the field now by 1.8 seconds. He was the first to pit, so if anyone can't make it to the end, it will be this car. And I don't think anyone can make it to the end. Traffic under 20 seconds ahead. It might avoid them in the S's, actually. It's kind of close. Might get them right at the end. But another half second added to the gap between first and second. Rob Dyson losing a bit of touch now with Jordan Taylor. There's Jeff Brabham running in 7th. Here's Chip Robinson back on track. Jack Baldwin, he's behind her there, looking for a way by. You see all the prototypes in the background? Here they come. So they'll be in the lap traffic through the S's at this time. Nice job on the inside, not losing much time around Robbie Gordon. Through it. Off the final turn, gonna catch Simo at a little bit of a tricky point. But now, this is where the real work gets put in. We have 14 touring cars ahead. And about 8 left-right switchbacks to navigate. 20 to 30 mile per hour speed differences through a lot of these corners. And in some cases even more. Look at that. 50 miles an hour right there. We're doing a great job though, just it's like a ski slope in and out of them. Oh my goodness. Weaving in through the poles. Does he go for it there on sharp? Yeah, you just gotta take each risk and calculate as fast as you can. Is it worth it? Contact. The gap closed a bit. See Nasser and Albuquerque closed up enough to where they can at least get the draft. They're under, say, 2 seconds back now. Oh, now they're really jammed. Good contact, I think. Treacherous times here for a lot of these prototypes. Just going inside, outside, inside, outside. Lanes open up, you got this takeover. Wow, poor set just cut off over Derek Bell. Battle for the prototypes. 10 spot, 7 through 14. These guys just duking it out through all this lap traffic, and teammates almost get into it there. Weitzinger on the inside of Haywood. Very anxious moments for a lot of those drivers, and they were able to make it work. I think I didn't see any major incident. Oh, sideways there. Big checkup by the leaders of the GT series, and now Genoese getting pushed out wide. Wow. Trying to go outside on Weitzinger, and Weitzinger outside on Haywood. Can't get there. Check Rob. I think he's moved up a bit. He's 7. Rob Dyson still trying to get back to where he was. Fell out of the top 5 even now as PJ Jones has got by. And now the gap here between the top 3, less than 2 seconds. Scott Pruitt 1.2 ahead of Nasser, and then you got Albuquerque just behind Nasser. You go ways back to Jordan Taylor. And you go further back to PJ Jones, who seems to be holding the field up maybe a bit. pulling away from Rob Dyson. Trying to regroup and maybe track down those top four, at least Albuquerque, because top three, they've really got away. They're 7.5 seconds up from PJ Jones now. These pit stops are going to be critical. Can Scott Pruitt and Ganassi put it together and keep him out front of these two drivers? Become legends of the sport over the last decade and a half. Pruitt, been around for, I would say, over a generation now. It's transcending. And these guys used to watch him growing up. And learning from the master here at Circuit of the Americas. Coming up on 30 minutes to go. Mentioned it'd be about a 60 lap race before the caution, and we're at lap 40 right now, so we'll be a bit short of that. Probably lap 55 maybe. Albuquerque just set his fastest lap of the race. 14 laps on the tires and not slowing down. 5:02 for Pruitt, so only half a tenth off the fastest lap of the entire race. And nobody even close to Scott Pruitt when it comes to fastest lap, especially the top five. Nobody is within half a second, so 7/10 is the nearest. To find a little bit of storylines going on. A lot of fast laps between these drivers. Wow. They just found the gas pedal, huh? Bravo, Derek Bell, Roy Haywood, Butch Leisinger, all fastest lap of the race. Track temp down to 83 degrees. We are getting later in the day. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. Hard to tell with the cloud cover. Still not quicker than the top three, though, even though they're putting in their fastest laps. So you gotta think, if you are, some of these guys, maybe a pit stop early could be a benefit as they go about half a second slower that time by. Coming up again on lap traffic. Not too far away. I'd say by the next lap they'll be here again. Dahlbeck just is not having pace here. I'm not sure why he's not able to get going as he has in the touring series, but I think just an off weekend for the 13 team. Pruitt a second quicker than the rest of the top three that last time by. Laps are counting down. I don't think anybody can make it all the way to the end. Probably see a lot of the touring cars pitting here momentarily in a lap or two. So there goes Pruitt by Robbie Horton. 2.5 seconds back to second. And he's got the rest of the field right ahead. 15th on for the Trans Am Touring Series drivers. That's Brian Semo. We are just about to hit 30 minutes remaining in this race. Been led by Scott Pruitt from the beginning. Genovese has led the GT series from about the 20-minute mark or so. Forrest Robinson and this man right here, Scott Pruitt, made contact. They were both winning their respective classes, causing Forrest Robinson to wreck, and now Pruitt is jammed underneath the bumper. Fellows and loses a ton of time as Nasser gets within a second now on the final corner. Even Albuquerque was a 2-second difference that lap. Be very quick, just get stuck behind one car. You saw how wide Pruitt actually wound up going through the carousel because of that. Contact with Borsed. It's Boris on the track a bit. Oof, Nasser almost made contact. I just saw someone shoot. Wow, Riley Jones. I got a slowdown penalty for that one. Look at this. Albuquerque got the run on the outside. He's going to have the momentum, but stuck behind Dorsey. Can't complete the pass. Ooh, man, you're not going to get many more opportunities like that. Used him as a pick and just nowhere to go. Scott Pruitt continues by O'Connell in fifth. Ooh, contact with the leader. Pruitt goes sideways, and Nasser is gonna take the lead. No, side by side now down the front stretch. Contact with the leader into the final corner. Nasser, Pruitt side by side, going in on the leader of the GT series and makes it stay. Barely holds on to the lead. Wow, that was close. Nasser almost had him. The top three separated by less than a second through the S's with under 30 minutes to go. Jordan Taylor looking on from 2.5 back. Wow, that was close. I think that was Herb Hare, second place. That kind of came down a bit. Not expecting Pruitt to be there. Just like that. That's all it takes. And he could have spun. We saw Fangio. He went around. Even when he went for the move on Genovese, it could have been a back-to-back kind of situation. Look at that. Albuquerque, he's going for it. Alongside, but he's gonna have the outside into this next corner and not be able to make it. Definitely appears to be quicker. Being patient, not trying to cause an incident. It's a great points position. And there's still one pit stop to go. Man, who knows how many more times we're gonna run through the GT cars. It could be another, at least 3 times, I think. It's like our showing now, just to get an idea, 13 laps to go. Give or take with the time remaining. Defensive line for Nasser. He knows the pressure's coming. Robert chunking up. See Jordan Taylor closing his gap a bit, and they're closing on lap traffic as Trans Am cars are pitting. Ernie Francis Jr., Lindsay James, they're out of the pits. Just about 10 seconds up the road. The rest of the prototype field. Take a quick look back. Everyone's holding position pretty much. Dyson has not been able to find a way around PJ Jones. In fact, hasn't really been able to get close. Holbert looking with Leitzinger, kind of staying there as well. McQueen, he's moved up a little bit. He really had a good run going, so it's tough for him. He wants to get back into the top 5, I would imagine, by the end of this race. Long way to go for him. You see, it's that defensive line that's allowing Jordan Taylor back into this race. Here comes the lap traffic. Do you pit now if you're a prototype? I think I would. Ooh, little squirrels into the back of Francis. Oh my gosh, what a moment. And Pruitt hurt us. He's coming down pit lane. There goes Nasser for the lead. New leader, Felipe Nasser here. Pit stops approaching. And a lot of slower cars. So I think that is a big reason Pruitt decided to come in. He saw the traffic ahead, Smart move by the Ganassi team. But can Nasser somehow make this work? Some magician-like strategy. Maybe just able to get through the lap traffic quicker. And kick downhill to the hairpin. Is it this time by that day pit? So Boris set up ahead. It's gonna slow these guys down a little bit. Really slow them down actually. Said took an inside line and didn't give these guys much of a choice or option to go either direction. Now here they come. Look at the battle for fourth. Do these guys pit? Dyson does. I think he thinks he can probably get by PJ. I hear Scott Pruitt. Jeff Brabham, he's out of the pits here. There's Steve McQueen. Whoa, cut him off through second to last corner. Scott Pruitt almost contact with Dallenbach. And now up the hill to Big Red. That's what they call it. Oh, look at this. Rob Dyson side by side for the lead. Almost. Nasser gets out. Wow. So Brabham, Rob Dyson get out in front of Nasser and Albuquerque. Brabham's got fresh tires trying to get by Dyson. Here's PJ Jones. If he pits, we might have a caution. If not, we will stay green. So a lot depending on this. We do have a time caution here, but we'll skip it if PJ Jones stays on track. And we will go ahead and use that caution. Circuit of the Americas with less than 20 minutes to go. PJ Jones might be able to exit pit lane ahead of these guys. PJ Jones is out on track. Go ahead and let the computer do this. If we need to clean anything up, we will. PJ Jones is their leader. Unbelievable. Wow. is out of the pits ahead of the pace car when it came out. It's like a virtual safety car at the moment. And PJ Jones has a 7.5 second lead over Scott Pruitt, Rod Dyson. So, amazing turn of events. Irvin here actually out in front of Jenna Losey. New leader in the GT series as well. Under 15 minutes left now. Should be closing up on the pace car here. Oh, looked like, wow, Ron Fellows maybe got sideways through the entry to the S's. See if we find the pace car down the backstretch here. No, not yet. Such a huge track here. Making sure we don't have any penalties to deal with. To the tail end? I'm not sure. No, not yet. Sometimes the pace car does go some 100 miles an hour around this place. I just can't believe PJ Jones, though, actually pulled off a huge strategy and may win this race. We are officially caught up to the tail end of the field. So we'll get one more lap and then we will go green, probably with about 5 minutes to go, and we might catch traffic on the last lap. So here we go. PJ Jones, Scott Pruitt, Rob Dyson, Jeff Brabham. That's your top 4. See if I can figure out who that 5th car line is. Felipe Nasser. Sure we don't have any penalties. Chip Robinson, the only car really with any major difficulties today. Of course, with the timing of that caution and his pit window, somehow worked against him. All right, 1 to go till we go green flag racing here at Circuit of the Americas. PJ Jones getting a penalty. End of the line. Speeding on pit lane. Heartbreak for PJ Jones. Back to 15th. Here's your leader, Scott Pruitt, where he's been most of the day. Rob Dyson, probably his biggest threat to the lead. Jeff Brabham, he's been quick. He's going to need some lap traffic, though, I think. Then you have Nasser, Albuquerque, and Jordan Taylor, who have been the recent top 5. They fortunately weren't able to do much with Scott Pruitt. He had the most comfortable lead of the entire race, really. But I think Scott dodged a bullet here. PJ Jones may be wrongfully penalized, and we just don't have enough information or time to readjust the running order. He should be leading this field, and we can't get him back there. We should have like a restart burst. Line up behind pace car. Alright. So we got a lot of these guys still coming through. Everyone's really getting lined up now. Here's the front again. Rob Dyson. Scott Pruitt, Rob Dyson, Jeff Brabham, Felipe Nasser, Felipe Albuquerque, and Jordan Taylor, Steve McQueen. Davey Jones, up and down day. He's found himself back in the top 10. Derek Bell, he's up there. He's probably happy about that. As Al Holgert, his teammate, has fallen from 2nd to 12th. Bongio had a great run going, and then, of course, had his issue under braking. We're about to go green with under 5 minutes to go. We might see lap traffic. It's going to be right on the edge. Looks like Rob Dyson has fresher tires by a lap. Let's see if that comes into play. Wish we had a few more laps to give these guys a run to the finish, but sometimes it's just the way the cautions fall. And extra long parade laps here at Circuit of the Americas, taking everyone to circle around, get back in line, but we are one corner away from going green. Can he get another one of those great restarts that we've seen all day? Back underway, green flags in the air.
Green.
Maybe one to go next time by. Does Rob Dyson have anything for him? I think we might get one to go next time by. Wow. Hervé leading. Gentilozzi. Tommy Kendall. Dyson's got some pressure from Brabham. Let's see if Brabham can maybe put a move on him down the backstretch and get back to Pruitt, as Pruitt's already pulled out a 1 second lead. Brabham, he's there, 2/10. That's where you gotta be to make a move down this back straightaway. Be on the outside, you get the line going into the next corner. He's alongside. Yeah, Brabham's gonna get it. Nice job. 1.5 seconds now to make up in the last lap. What a pass by Brabham, though. We haven't seen much all day, and he pulls that win. It matters most. 2 minutes remain. I think this is it. Scott Pruitt got the gap he needs. Is this it? White flag. Seems as though it is. I don't have a announcement from my race control. By some crazy chance we get even one additional lap. I can't imagine, but Rob Dyson losing time now to Brabham. It's the battle in the top 5. You see Pruitt pulling away. Hervé has a 1 second gap over Gentilozzi, and Tommy Kendall 5/10 back. .8 the gap up front, and there's not enough time. Pruitt's growing the lead. final couple corners. I think this is the white flag. We're gonna find out here. Indeed it is. Checker flag in the air. Scott Pruitt gonna win here at Circuit of the Americas. Huge win. Jeff Brabham second, Rob Dyson third, C. Nasser coming home fourth. What a run. Here's the battle for the GT class. Not done yet. Podium spot still at end as Jack Baldwin's giving everything he's got on Tommy Kendall. Not gonna get there. Hervé, he's gonna pick up a win. Winner of the GT Series here at Circuit of the Americas. Big race for Hervé. Gentilozzi, Tommy Kendall, that's your top three. Jack Baldwin, Johnny O'Connell. And here's your race winner, Scott Pruitt. And I think Dallenbach must have had some damage again on the last lap. But your winner, Scott Pruitt, in dominating fashion here today. Had it from the beginning, never let go. It'd been interesting if PJ Jones was able to hold the lead, what might have happened, but Pruitt probably would have got by. That's how fast this car was. So we'll get the points updated for our next race, which will be in about another month's time. Trying to do about a month between races here. So we can allow 2 Trans Am Series races in between and keep that updated. But next race will be at Spa-Francorchamps. It'll be an 8 a.m. race, 4 hours. Be sure to tune in for that one. 4 hours of Spa coming up in about a month's time. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. You get that notification when we go live or when we have any new videos go up. You can check them out and stay up to date with all the different series we have here on Pandora's Arcade. We have IndyCar Legend Racing Series tomorrow with the 500 miles at Daytona on the road course. Double points at stake. And then we'll be back in about a week's time from there with the Stock Car Championship Series. Been a while since we've had those guys on track and excited to get running again. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Again, this brought to you by Team Watson Racing Setups and Dizzy V Designs. Hope everyone enjoyed today's race. Scott Pruitt, your winner. Hervé winning the GT class. We'll be back in 24 hours or so for IndyCars, but a month from now for another race in the Endurance Racing Championship Series at Spa. Thank you, and hope you all have a great rest of your day.